Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's tutorial. And in today's tutorial, it is a continuation of our previous video, which is actually the sewing part of our previous video. If you haven't seen that video, do well to see that video before coming to see this video so you get to understand what we are doing. Without wasting your time, let's get right into the video. For the cup, I added 0.5 inches sewing allowance to the cup, and I cut a collar stay for it. I'll be using the collar stay to gum on the lining. I did that for the both three piece of the cup, just as you see. And then for the center, I left 0.5 as well. But for the cup part, I left 1 inches, as you can see. And then this is our lacing bar, 1.5. If you remember from our drafting, we actually marked 1.5 for our lacing bar. This is our back, and the side front 1 inches as well. So this is our three piece. I have gone ahead to add the collar stay to it. So we're going to join the two down part first, and then we'll join the top. So this is what it looks like after we have joined them, and both for the main material. The next we're going to do is we're going to cut out the excesses. The reason why we're cutting out the excesses is so our bust gauging is actually going to relax very well. And now I actually added a collar stay so it will be firm to hold our boning very well. After doing that, we're just going to mark 0.5 just like so all the way around. The reason why we're marking the 0.5 all the way around the cup is so that we'll have a part where we can join to our main bodies where there will be no boning, so we can join and as well turn the main material and the lining together. So I'm just connecting the 0.5 as you can see me doing here. After that, we're just going to draw a straight line from the end to the top, just as you can see. After drawing a straight line from either the right or the left, we're going to mark 1 inches at the top and also at the bottom, just as you see me doing, just like so. And we're going to crisscross just like so, meeting from one inch to the next 1 inch from the top to the bottom, just as we marked. After doing that, the next thing, whatever is left both at the right and the left hand side, we're just going to divide that into two, just like so, and then we mark. The reason why we are marking this is so we'll know where our style lines are and where we can sew on, just like so. So the next thing, after marking our lines, we're just going to do our boning first at the top before any other parts of the linings. So now this is my first boning. This is what it looks like, but I did not sew the both part. I left the bottom part because I want to add, another part all the way around, as you see me doing. So this is what it looks like after I have added at the bottom. So now we're going to take this to the machine so we'll know how to add the other part. And I want you to know that I'm using the smallest sewable boning. So now on the part where we actually crisscrossed, we're just going to fix this in just like so, and then take to the other end. But when you are doing this, you're not going to keep it straight, you're just going to push in a little bit, so it can give that curvy effect. The fact that the upper parts boning where I sewed first is open, and where you fix in this other crisscross parts that I'm sewing, you're just going to push in. And after doing that, when you get to the end, you're just going to bend and you cut out again, just like so. And then you fix this part inside the bottom open part before sewing it to the end. That way it sits properly without crossing. So after sewing the first line, we're just going to stitch on the other parts of the boning again before we move to another style line. So after we've done that, we're just going to take out our thread, and the next thing we're going to do is on these other parts which we divided into two, we're just going to fix in another boning again and push. When you're pushing the boning inside, this open ends, you're just going to see the curvy effect. you just know, okay, I'm good to go. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's an instinct thing. You just know, okay, this part is now curved, this boning is not showing just as I want, just as I did for the first one. You're going to cut in and you fix it in again, and you just sew together. So we're just going to do the same thing for the other part. Then we go ahead and continue our cup on the other crossing parts. So this is just exactly what I explained the first time, is what I'm actually doing here. So after doing that, after we've done one part, we're now going to cross on our cups. That's the line you see me do. We're crossing whatever line you have drafted out or you've drawn. You're just going to create another boning channel to just cross. Now when you create other ones to cross it, it helps the cup to balance very well. Remember, I made a crisscross which I crossed the first time, and now I'm just making like a cross again. As you can see how I am doing it, and you're going to push from the bottom. When you're pushing it, you're giving it this curvy effect. I don't know if you understand what I am saying. So you're just going to do that, and then we're just going to sew. Now every other part that I've actually crossed, like I said, whatever line you have made, you're just going to make another second line to cross them. So the cup is going to have a balance. The cup will not, be facing one side. If all your boning, like you've crossed them to the right, or you've made them slant, to the center, you just make another cross again and pass on each of them. That way it's going to give the cup this balance, especially for us that we are actually busty. After I did that, I actually ran another one in the middle again, so I can have this strong firmness, and then I am done with drafting. Sorry, this is so fast. I actually do not want this video to be very, very long. So this is what it looks like after we've done with our bust caging. So we're just going to flip to the wrong side to see what we have. Now, one very good thing about bust caging, you still use your hot iron and enough steam to get the shape that you want, but you can see how it is without ironing. You can see how fine it looks. So now this 0.5 which we left earlier, the next thing we are going to do is just to stitch on this 0.5, just like so. You can see how it is. So this part I am stitching now, there is no boning there. So I know that, oh, there's no boning at this point, when I'm working on my cup, and either ways to make it look very neat. So I'm just going to turn, and the next thing I'm going to do is to take it to my pressing iron. You can see how I'm using my tailor arms with my cup. You can see how I'm curving my cup. In as much as the boning is going to give it that curve, your iron has another great work to do, like how you iron it, you know has a lot to do with your cup. The boning goes whichever direction you actually want it to go. So after doing that, I'm just going to press very well, so my cup sits and relaxes very well before I start my fleshing. So I'm just still ironing at this point, so my cups can relax. You can see how the cup is at this point. So now for the fleshing part, I'm using this interfacing, and I actually cut about 8 layers of it, 8, 7, 9 layers of it. I think I actually used 8 layers of it. So I'm just going to put all of them on each other, like the part that is holding together. I'm just placing all on each other on my cup. You can see how I am holding my cup so it does not get very wild, and I'm using a very hot iron for this. So I'm just going to keep a bit. You can see the steam coming out, and I'm pouring water on this so they can all gum together because the layers are actually much. So now we're doing this so the boning does not, there's this comfort, so it can just actually sit very well, and our boning can have this perfect foamy effect, and not just the boning on it. So I'm still going to press, especially on the edges. In fact, every part is actually very necessary. This takes time, but it's actually worth it, because after making your dress, when you wear it, you just get excited. So for the bulgy part, I'm just going to divide that into two, and then cross just as you see in the video. This is the first part. After dividing, you just cross, open cross, and then you place your iron and press very well. If you don't do this part very well, you just see that one part will be swollen. Now we're trying to make everywhere balance, so I'm just going to cross again and then use my iron to press. You can see that the iron is very hot, so I'm just pressing just like so. As you can see me doing, I'm just going to continue pressing, just like so. Like it has, like, there's so much pressing, ironing, but this is just the major work of it. After this, like every other part is easy to go by with. Like the cup is actually like the major part of it, because it has a lot of ironing to do. So after doing that, I'm just going to trim out the excesses, so we'll see what, our main cup, actually um looks like. So I'm just taking them out, so you can see that the edge is actually looking bulgy. So I'm still going to press on each of the edges just like so, because I want it to lay very flat, as when I want to use the cup, or maybe put the main material on it. So that's why you see me pressing. And when you press very well, you see you will not feel that bulginess, that's, oh, like something is inside, but you just feel the comfort. So after doing that, I'm just going to open out the sides, so I can just trim the fleshy part to that 0.5, which I actually sewed or left for the top and also for the sides. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The sides which are actually sewed, so I'm opening so I can have that 0.5. I can see that 0.5. After doing this trimming, I'm just taking my time to open. Now when you're opening, please do not allow the boning to show. You are just opening, but don't allow the boning to show, and you just trim out. And I'm still just, giving it this very good press. We actually opened it now and trimmed out that 0.5, so I want it to lap and sit back properly. Take your time. It's because I'm fast forwarding the video, so it looks like it did not take a lot of my time, but it actually did. So we're just still going to continue pressing. You see, I'm putting more effort to it. So, and please watch how I am holding my cup with the tailor arms. I did not just leave my cup like that, because there's a way you leave your cup will just be wide, instead of your cup to have that curvy effect. You see, it will be wide. You can see how it is deep, and it's not looking wide. You can see how beautiful our cup is. So this is how fine it looks. So this is our main material. Now for the top part where we left the 0.5, now these are the reasons why we actually left them, so we can turn the main material. And this part we actually fleshed is the lining and not the main material. The ankara is actually the main material. So I'm just pinning on the parts where I am going to sew, and then I will turn over. We're almost done with our cup, everything about the cup. The cup takes time, but every other part comes easily after you've done the bust caging and then the fleshing. So I'm just going to sew at the top, and then not round or just the top. So this is it after I have done that, and I'm just going to flip over, so you can see what it looks like. Now when you flip over, remember the 0.5 which we sewed for the lining. For the main material, you're not going to sew it, you're just going to fold it in and then you iron. So now this part is not showing how I'm trying to stretch this main material meeting with the lining, but I'm just using all my effort to do this at this point. So you can see how our cup is looking, how beautiful it is. You can see what the lining looks like, and also what the main material actually looks like. So I'm just holding down with a pin, so it relaxes very well as at when I am ready to use the cup for the main body. So now this is what our cups look like. You can see, very beautiful, even when we have not, and you can see how deep it is. It will contain your boobs. So now these are for the main material. So we're marking out that 1 inches, which I actually marked out when I said earlier. I'm marking so because I want to take out my drafting sheet out of it, so I'll know what I'm actually working with. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to join the center together, and then the dart part together. I actually created another one again at the center, so we're just going to join this part just like so, and also this part together, and then the middle as well. So we're just going to take that to our machine, and we're equally doing that both for the main material and as well for the lining. I hope you understand that. So now this is what it looks like after I have done that. Remember, we're going to put some boning channels, so we're actually trimming this down, because if we do not trim down, it's going to bulge out, and our channel will not be relaxed. So I'm just trimming this out on the main material and as well the lining. So this is what it looks like. Please, at this point, don't just add only your front bodice. Please add both the back of the lining and then the front, which we have joined like this, before you start doing your boning channels. I didn't actually show that part. So after that, you just give it a good press. Now we're just going to determine. I actually used 3 inches for the sides after our main dart, because on this other part that I'm drawing these lines, I'm just going to put boning channels on it, just like so, even when I did not create a dart for it. So you're just going to use your initiative to make. And please, when you're working with your material, use a pencil or something that is going to clean out, a marker or something that will clean out, not something you start struggling in case it's for a client. So when you iron, your steam iron can actually take it off. So let's take this to the machine and then add our channel. So fold our boning just like so on a bias strip, just as you see me doing, and then we're going to place it on the line, and then we're just going to sew just like so to the end, just like so. You're boning inside on a bias strip of about 1.5 or 2 inches, so you have some excesses, and you're just going to sew down just like so, and then you cut out your excesses, and then you trim out this other remaining part just like so. Now we're trying to create a channel. Like, this is nothing, I'm just going to do this, and then we'll do the other one behind the camera. After you've done that, you're just going to flip over, just like so, and then you top stitch on it. Now we've created a channel. This is an easy way to just create a channel. After doing this, we're just going to flip to the other part, and then we top stitch again on both sides, so this will be firm. You can see that my main bodice is already having this curvy effect because we have a boning in it. So after we have done that, we are going to add the non-sewable boning to it. So by the time a bigger size wears this, like, it's not going to fold, but it's going to sit very well because we have a stronger boning inside. So you're just going to do the same for every other part of the channel. So now this is what it looks like after I have done mine. You can see how it's looking. So we're just going to place the lining and the main material together. We are doing this because we are not using the lining to turn the main material, but just holding them together, and then we fix our cup, fix our lacing bar. This way it's very neat and very comfy and modern corsetry. So you need enough pins for this, because it works with a lot of pins. You have to stretch and place them perfectly. So this is our lacing bar. I went ahead to add 3 line sewable boning to it before adding non-sewable boning beneath. So after doing that, this is what it looks like. So we're just going to place the end part of our main material just like so on it, and then you cover up and sew at this end that I'm pointing, just like so. And like this, you've added your lacing bar just like so. We're just going to stitch on that part, and you do it on the both sides. For our queen and neckline, from our neckline, we're just going to make an angle just like so, and then we cut that part out, and that is just it. So this is the back, and this is what it is after we've cut out on our main material. And then this is our queen and neckline. If you want to double, you double. If you don't want to, it's completely fine. So this is my sleeve. So I actually made a flay on it, because I didn't want it to be straight. Whichever you want is okay. So now to add our cup, we're just going to mark that 1 inches which we left earlier when we were after we drafted. If you remember, I'm just trying to mark out because that is where we are going to place our cup. So now the reason why we left this 1 inch is so that when we add our cup, it's going to balance exactly just as we have drafted. So I'm just trying to mark that. And at the other side, I'm still just going to mark it, so I know what I'm working with when I'm working with both the front and also the back. So now the pins which I used in holding the cups, I'm just going to take them out, so it has that balance, and I'm going to lift it up just like so, and then place it on that 1 inches which I marked just like so, and then I stitch. This is just it. Like, it's nothing, it's difficult, but it is not difficult. It's something we can just take our time and we'll get it. So you're just going to stitch carefully, not something to rush, slowly, and you are definitely going to achieve it. So you're just going to mark on that 1 inches which we have marked, just as you see me doing. So we're just going to sew that, and basically that's just it on how to fix our cups. So you're not going to take your pin out, to which you have done on the bodies, like you won't do that. So you're just still going to sew. And if you know that it's not matching, you're going to be extending the make sure both the main bodies and the cup, like, they match together. I don't know if you understand. So now this is what it looks like. So we're just going to flip to the right side, see how it is. So I'm just trimming only the side, I'm not trimming everywhere. So now you are just going to cover the upper part and then turn in. Remember the 1 inches which I actually marked at the top. So you are still going to extend the front part just as you did for the back, just like so, and then you curve it. And basically we are done with adding our cup. So it is not something that you're not going to do. It's something I know you do very well. So this is our yoke. I've added both the front and the back together, and I'm going to add my sleeve and then add to the body of my dress. This is what it looks like. So I'm just going to take this and add to my dress. So what you're going to do is you just flip to the wrong side, and then you match the armhole to the armhole of the blouse, and you just pin. So now you just pin both to the queen and front and also to the back. Now for this, you can use your needle to tack, or you use your machine to sew. I actually use the machine to sew this. So you're just going to check from the bust bridge to make sure, like, both yokes are matching and they are meeting at equal points, so one yoke does not go in compared to the other yoke. So that's just what I am doing here. So we'll just continue pinning this until we get to the end. So without pinning this, like, this is just a means of gauging, like, for you to know how balanced your yoke will look like, before you either untack or you stitch on it. So you can see how the yoke is looking like, and you can as well see our lacing bar. So this is what it actually looked like. I'm turning over to the right side because I have not stitched at this point. I just want to see what it's looking like, if I'm comfortable with it before I take it to the machine. So now this is it. After doing that, the next thing we're going to do is on the M line. Either ways, whichever way you want to do it, like, if you want to keep it a style line or a different style line, you can just go and run a bias strip on it and then fix your eyelets. So this is what it looks like after I've used my bias to run at the M line of my blouse. And as well, you can see how the cups are looking very perky. I've gone ahead to add the yoke, and also the back is actually covered. I didn't want it to be open. And then you can see how our cups are looking very deep, and they actually contain very well. So thank you so much, guys, for staying tuned to the end of this video, please subscribe to my channel, drop a comment, like, and I'll see you in my next video. So I actually made one of this video, like I actually had to zoom in so you can see how busty I am and how our Queen Anne neckline is sitting very well. So you can as well also see the back. You can see how covered it is. Remember, we took just 1.5 for the top and half inches for the down, so it will be covered. So this is what it looks like. Thank you so very much. I'll definitely see you in my next video. Bye for now.